Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. I know a lot of people in America are probably feeling a little defeated. I mean, if you watch this program, unless you're working in your basement of your mom's house on a blog, you probably feel defeated. But I want you to know, do not feel that way. The battle was lost. The war is not over. The war is just beginning. These are the times that try men's souls. This weekend, President Obama shrugged off his critics, I think he was talking about me, who said this is socialism. This is what he said. Watch.
You know, the naysayers said that Social Security would lead to socialism. But the men and women of Congress stood fast and created that program that lifted millions out of poverty.
Isn't it great? And it's working out so well. So he says, this isn't leading to socialism. Nothing to see here, people. Move along. No socialism here. But then Al Sharpton shows up. Now, he's suddenly close to the president again. I thought he was being distanced, but now they need Al Sharpton, so let's call Al in. He was on Fox yesterday, and here's what Reverend Al said.
I think that this began the transforming of the country the way the president had promised. This is what he ran on.
Some would argue to socialism.
Well, first of all, then we'd have to say that the American public overwhelmingly voted for socialism when they elected President Obama.
Really? Thank you, Al. The mask is coming off. This is good news. Progressives are revealing themselves. Tonight, you'll see why. Come on, let's go. Hello, America. I have to tell you that this weekend, I mean, I know I seem a little happy now. It's taken a while for me to get this happy. This weekend was tough for me. I think it was probably tough for you. You know, we all grew up in an America. I remember I was sitting here before the show and I thought, my mom used to have I don't even know what you call them, the rag-tied rugs. They were big spirals, and we used to be on the floor in front of our television set. Wow, look at that. Remember when TVs used to do that? We all grew up in an America that made sense. And you always thought the bad guys lost in the end. And here we are this weekend, and I saw stuff. I mean, it was a game-changing bill. There was not a shred of bipartisan support on this one. The bipartisan support was in the opposition. Take a look at all of the Republicans and the Democrats that they were able to peel away. There it is. None. Zero. This weekend marks the beginning of real bipartisanship, the kind you're used to. This vote on health care was the end of the Democratic Party as we know it, and I think there's going to be bipartisanship, maybe unless they're too afraid of some of those Democrats that say, look, I can't operate over here, because this is what happened. The Republicans were unified against this thing, and the overwhelming majority in America opposed it as well. So where was the real fight? I want to show you this actually right now. Where was the real fight? Look at this. Here are the Democrats. Here are the Republicans. This is who voted against it. Okay? You notice that there's blue over here. There's no red over here. None. It's blue and red. That's called bipartisanship. The people were, what was it, 76% of the people were over here. This is the America that I understand, where you call bipartisanship bipartisanship. This hasn't been passed for a year because the progressives couldn't convince the run-of-the-mill Democrats to go along with this bill. There was no arm twisting of the Republicans. All of the pressure and the bribes went to the dirty congressmen on the left and the Democrats. When I grew up and we had a TV like this, everybody in my family was a Democrat. Everybody. I come from a Democratic family. My grandparents wouldn't recognize this country at all. They wouldn't recognize the Democrats. The Democrats, over the years, have beat back the progressive machine and slowed down their radical agenda. They have finally been toppled, forced to submit. That's a list of Democrats who voted for this bill. Now let me show you the list of the people who originally voted yes after opposing the bill. I was against it before I was for it. These people, what did they get? Stupak, I don't know how you sleep at night. America, sear these names in your memory because they sold their souls for this vote. Now, I know that the White House expects me to be bitter, and you probably expected me to be bitter today, too. I saw all kinds of tweets. Oh, Glenn Beck's going to cry. No, I left that for the Kennedy clan. I'm not crying. Today, I'm actually feeling thankful, surprisingly. Remember, if you watch the show, what was it, a few weeks ago, I said, no matter what happens, health care is only a battle, albeit a big battle in a much larger war. If you think this is over, gang, I got news for you. Wait until you see what's coming. They're already starting on immigration. But I'm thankful that the Progressive Party has stepped out of the shadow and showed Americans who they really are. I can't tell you the number of Democrats I talked to. A guy walked into my lifelong Democrat. Lifelong. His wife barely even would talk to me when we first met because, oh, you're a Republican. I'm like, no, I'm not a Republican. Well, you're on the right. She barely talked to me. We're good friends now. He came over to my office and said, I just want you to know, it's a big day in our house. Mama finally went. I said, what are you talking about? And he said, she can't stand with Barack Obama and the Democrats. She doesn't know what they've become. Well, what they become is ruthless, morally bankrupt, ends justify the means, Saul Alinsky-ites who will do anything, include eat their own, to get what they want. The Progressive Party have consumed the Democrats now. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I saw this coming in 2004. I remember big, fat, cottage cheese butt Michael Moore sitting next to Jimmy Carter. The cottage cheese ass and the peanut farmer sitting there. And I thought, this is a recipe for disaster. I said, Democrats, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get away from these people. When the Democrats lost big elections in Virginia and New Jersey, and followed by the biggest shocker of all, losing Ted Kennedy's seat. How do you do that? I told you that the path the Democrats took from then on would be telling. It would separate them from Democrats or revolutionaries. This is what I said. Here's what you have to watch for. Not only is the republic at stake, but you will know the health of it by seeing what happens right now. If the Democrats lose this fight inside of their own party starting tomorrow to triangulate, to slow down the machine built by the progressives, well, we will see whether they turn their progressive machine against the republic or if they will moderate, regroup, and blend back into the background again as they have done so many times before. Look at the last couple of months since these elections. In the face of losing the Senate seat, the iconic figure of universal health care, Teddy Kennedy, it's gone. And then losing the support of the entire country, 76 or 73%. This bill is still jammed down the throats of Americans. Just enough spineless, dirty weasels in Congress were convinced just to go along with it. So, who do you think has emerged? Well, it ain't the regular Democrats. The regular Democrats are a little surprised. They may even agree with some of the stuff that's in the health care package, but they don't like the way this was done. Why? Because the average Democrat is not the California hippie, Marxist, socialist, communist, progressive, sticking flowers in the barrel, sitting around smoking dope all day during college and talking about how they can destroy the evil American empire. That's not what the average Democrat was doing, or the average American. But that is what a lot of people in our government were doing in the 1960s. And I bet you, what time is it now? A lot of them are still doing it. They are the ones who've declared themselves king. So I'm actually thankful today. I mean, I wish it would have worked out the other way, but it didn't. But it's a long, long road. These are the times that try men's souls. Are you a sunshine patriot? Because there's no use for those sunshine patriots today. But now America can see what you're really up against. Everything we told you they would do, they have done. I mean, look, we all know Washington is a very corrupt place. People are dirty on both sides of the aisle. But never, never in my life, growing up, America changed for me this weekend. I don't see it anymore as this television set used to show me. I mean, I never thought I would see the kind of corruption, the backroom deals, the bribes, the out-and-out scumminess that got us to this health care vote. I mean, what is the fruit on this tree going to be like? I mean, you know what the roots are. Now, the progressives have called it America's one of our biggest moments in history. I want to show you something. Let's play a little game, compare and contrast. First, bring up George Washington here. Here's George Washington. This is the night that he actually read to the troops. These are the times that try men's souls. Here's a starving army. They had lost every single war since they signed the Declaration of Independence. I'm sorry, every battle. He was a losing general. There was just a pittance of the army left. They had nothing. They read Thomas Paine. These are the times that try